Abusia asemna nya jito ajita dia womnie according to Vim Lady wasi ababa fe no eye Odo Broni Daddy Lumba omotimi committee offense if say ebia Odo Broni enim se na Daddy Lumba ene maami Akosua Serwaa ehihye ho awale ho dia omo committee offense enche ruling no ebeba appeal court ruling no appeal no ruling no ebeba na Vim Lady aba be chirechirem ediaman na before that ya yebeka kofa Vim Lady no ye mame Akosua krukluwa wono eye lawyer wono nso ade verdict no ede by hawa ruling no koye no eno nso ento aso no wa ha yehwe na yediama enti yede buo ba ko bekum no maami no e wa ha about court nsensem no na yehudie ko ene de ba appeal court na dusu o muntie asem no enya agita M&B Express Logistics semen control se edu tama e wose otoka efu ewo wiase emo bi mfa so kwa na no wa chinchere biem obekwa kotoka no bo dedenten adeeche na se adeeche na yese obokasa M&B se ha no etu atwa just to telephone na from na mon start nye business na bla bedi adanse e mame M&B Express Logistic enebusia mekamfo ediamam yenkwe na yenkoti enkoma wodo na etimi aba no asem no enya agita
Part 6
ansa na metwa so no ma menka asem we mesramu obi ambo mepa obi anhye mekutupa obi antua meka se me membe chichirim me ya na metewa na mese we eya adesua nti ye nyina yensuasua ne yemfantu ye hofo se de be ya enkofa asem foforo madachi nti mesramu obi antua meka obi ambo mepa wate me ya na eja konkonsa ye mede na mse mu endi kakra na we de konkonsa we yemfansua de nti mepa macho uti na supem ene konkonsem so ase ye no asua de eso afrim medase enti ye do types of marriage baby a ye ne ra Dorinda Arthur esi ye no na osi wo be church types into types of marriage in Ghana wo sheda eto nebo eto types of marriage no eno nko ahu pages na edo so pa enti ye ho ne ye de hyase osi e wo Ghana mramu no anase e wo Ghana ha no ye wo aware miensa main and I say 3 main types of our real kroma. Near Dikai a customary marriage, ye na friend if you are no. Near Tosso a court to our real and as ordinance, and at the trust a Islamic marriage. No can say our real do in and our real and saying and a bia a wapanya a faswa. Ye bunu wombremu say ye valid and I say a dimu. What's I say? Intino, say ofa ordinance marriage, I will near my church say dimu. So if you are warrior so I will near my say edimu nti sa aware miensen omu nyina wo niema ekire de ye friend validity and legality e wo krom ha sei no na o start free if you are warrior so say if you are warrior no it is celebrated under custom not just no e fie ye na mamre ene ye na mane kwan so e na eno no ebusuakuo bia na say me ka ne say ebusuakuo bia na say tribe bia ewo kwan ya omofa so eye sa aware no enti enye pe wo ba bia e bia se de ye worry ewo da goma fomu na different se de si worry wasanti fomu se de ye worry ofafra fomu na be different for e bia se de ye worry wadagati fomu so what I say enti no pe o kire say e different na emomu no it is mostly based on consent na chese nipa mienu no e wo so omunya omo ho ntiase em na ebusua mienu no so nya omo ho ntiase na omatimi aka saa oba ne be me ya bom se awarefo no wie no se ye fia aware wo Ghana no e wo se wutua tirinsa emma ebusua panyin anase oba na ebusua na omusu egitum na omubọ machiri dom say aware no omugitum ye betimi a register fi aware wonim sa ha menim se wonim entusua wa ha wo betimi a register fi aware na emum ma menkam ento aso say wo register fi aware no ye ma wo certificate na emum ye tro wo din wo be kwakotro e wo registrar of courts registrar a owo assembly no ni register mu e ho na abekwa kwotro ewo but eno ye ma wo certificate nti fi aware ye register pa okan wa ha no saso ka se sa aware no eye polygamous se wo ware obi ofie otimi ware obi ka ho if you aware no ye nyina ye nim se ya ye wo ho ade ofie otimi ye oba foforo ho ade e ka wo ho me se oba foforo man ka be ma foforo ho ade enti no be ma ware ofie no otimi ware oba foforo ye de e ka wo ho o say there is no limit na just otimi ware ma bebre e de ka wo ho na I no stated the case of Graham versus Graham. Me person the legality no ebe bo mu bebre nti na ya me person but on my case or the support is na ya session and I said na asem no ehu no wie no be kan ordinance marriage aye court aware or say court aware na ye mra aware eye baako bema baako ne oba de e friend monogamous or bema baako oba baako aware na sa so ye civil union e wo say emra mu no register na che say untimi nya court aware abra wo register you so wo ka say wo aware wo court mu na wo register ya enimu sa nti no e wo say register na parties ni mienu na wo mu ware no e wo say wo mienu nyina wo bi atintim so ne ya wo mu wi a ne ya edimu na e be kire se ma ware no ya mamu marriage certificate e che say ma ware na sa ware ni de strictly monogamous na che say no ye ware bi nka ho be ma ni ntimi ware oba ni bi enka oba na wadi ka de na court ne ho sa na mewra dorinda ka wa ha nti wo cheche ma ware na ahodro ni mu se de be ya wo beti ase na wo ka asem a ehu ba bia be kan fa so we no say request say require say wo be ye formal registration ye wo district and our assembly so say kwa ye asori dem wedding and say court around say bra be register wo assembly bra be register wo ha no eno ho asem na o kan wa ha no o cheche we nyina mu na no so wie ye no na o ka say once aware converted that is if you aware o convert no ba ordinance ti wa ware ofie na okoye court de a automatically extinguish fie de no nti e chese e mu ntimi be kasa ma ye ne ho ade ofie nti ne metimi aware bi aka ho abra wakwa akoye court aware ye nya ne saa pacho wate ase nti enkoye obi ho ade na enkasa wa ye ne ho ade akoye wedding wasa akware bu fufuro yes sir oni mra benya problem that's it. Into say we are extinguish all your rights any privileges are over under customary marriage. Very simple. No my Coma versus Shang. A very interesting case. I wouldn't adagea. She Google ne read FF ed case ned. No, we are not say the last one here Islamic marriage. Ayen Crimme warrior. Hence Islamic marriage ne or say officiated by an Islamic religious leader and also so a potentially polygamous. Not as an suit me worry ebika home. Now both the couples must be Muslims. Mremono I was a woman in Iron Cremofo no what me contracting Cremofo aware na mu wie so I was at the registrar of Mohammedan marriages any divorce no I was a notify no I no see register nti I was a notify sa registrar no so within a week or some mo ware no said e be ya ono so obe recording na ono so etimi atro mudin e won nkrata mu se mu mienu no mo aware e won kremo kwan so na mu wie so a e was sa aware no e officiated by an imam a sheikh or a kadi Sanko for me and say officiate our warrior no Crema warrior enim. And I also see a man is able is allowed to marry up to 4 wives and it should not be between family relations and cousins. And Crema warrior no as a children on so children. Oh yeah no say I was a make account say Emra court no e one mandate say wetimi gu warrior in ewo court warrior mu no under the Matrimonial Causes Act 367 no. When it pertains to customary marriage, the court is enjoined to consider customary rules. Into the such as say, if you are warrior, it was a court, no, if you no, na oshe ni pakron personal laws. Uni so obia one personal law. Obia one personal law. Uni so personal law. Obia one personal law. Dakro ebe chile obia one personal law. Miti he me one personal law. So personal law. Inti ye hwe wo mamre e kwan so afa so ware ni ahwe personal law. Ni aka brom na ye de agina so abua. Se wo de ifia ware ye kokoto. Ye ka nyenu ni bom ye de. For mama ye ntoa so. Ye wo pay 22. Na pay 22 e ho no na Yenera Dorinda Arthur Okasafa approving a valid marriage. And he say, wo chere say wawariye edim anasa wawariye ewo mremu no edim. Na hono mo no start say the primary and direct proof of a valid ordinance marriage is the performance of the marriage. That is say answer na wa betimi a chere say wawariye edim no na e wo say awariye no kra abaso. Say the ehun say bia wa ya yefro. What na say no. And the first one na wo wi a e was a wunya documents a back case performance no nti anya se wa hihye nkonwa wa frɛ ye ya ba ma chese masensan bibi na ye hu krata bia na no chese wa ware nti o say a combination of other documents corroborating the performance of the marriage is more convincing than a single document. So as I say akofa wedding invitation ba nti o krata ne e was say hu ya so wie na oba beka say e wo ye wo eniema bia enye it may not be enough to prove marriage. Example, or say ye wo emre bia marriage certificate nko a entimi nkyere say aware dimu ana say ndim eniema ne e bia marriage certificate nko an ntimi nkyerɛ sɛ aware di mu no ene obubo obi ene non consummation sɛ nipa mienu makoye court aware na emu mienu mu nhia wɔ namu da munhyia wɔ namu da ye hyia ma ware so ma mo wie munhyia wɔ namu da eno ɛkyɛ sɛ ma ware enim ɔse in fact ɔse nullify na kyɛ sɛ aware no kure ni hɔ na nka pesa abedi mu ana endim nullify no completely no ɔse mental incapacity of a spouse e bia na wo ware no na nipa kro na adwen no ho enhyɛ da anye okay kakra eno so na kyɛ sɛ nipa kro no need the menstrual betimi a consent sɛ aware no wo pene so ana wo pene so ntia no so emma aware no enye de enim e bi wo also ɔse cases of fraud na e bi so issues with certificates na nkasa ɔse e bi also aware no kora no efiri ahyase na kyɛ sɛ egu ahyase na enim void ab issue na just aware na hyase na aware no enya aware papa na say egumpo abra mo hyase nti muko mukura na mu consummate kura aware na enya papa eno no work ye no say ebi ho no ma no wedi kan aware obi foforo e wo mmerem na say akoware obi e foforo so a sa aware na wo ware second one no enim na fraud sa wo ko e bia mi ti he na midin na e bia midin dia so mesi na makwa che ni pakwa ni se midin dia obenti na me de no akwa ya aware no a eno no sa aware ni me san se midin kura anya no kore e be dan aware na yeden awo nti wo kan no wie no refer to section 46 of cap 127 the Marriages Act 1884 to 1985 no or refer to no say sa so na say wo convert wo fi aware wo convert wo fi aware ekọ ordinance mu a wontimi ware obi foforo nka wo kai se me kan wo ba ko ni sa wo sa kan wo ha no say aside the say wo munhia wo namu da na niema we mosusu betimi ama aware no enimu kura na say be ye annulled na te say annulled na te say aware na amaso abaso de na emu nimu wo mbrem nti no ye begu no ene say enipa minu no mo ware ni nyina ye mofra Ghana ha yakasa obi abofra just wedi below 18 nti no sa nkura ware enim ana say parties ne ba akwa ware deda eno wo sa bebe ware obi ordinance marriage we nyefia ware wan hwe ba akọ na akọhwe me cheche mu ho spouse ne ba akọ ye force na chese nya ne pe na ode ba ware enim omo che ne kente na ode ba ware enim ena evidence of deceit and fraud no so maka ho asem wo wie ye no ena oba say ebia na oba ne so say oba ne so nyemma be ma fofora sa ware no endim ena instance anuanu mienu amo ware no so what's the list na nya exhaustive but me akeka ne ma bebre now with any of the above conditions or say when any of the above conditions prevail the marriage certificate alone like I say sa na ma we nyina e wo ho no mo a marriage certificate ne nko a entimi ma ware ne ndim say the fact say we marriage certificate na sa na ma we mo bia wo mo a aware ne ntimi ndim emfa ho na o certificate ayede ekura wo wie no ho no stay o ma no bibia atwa no de yabo so mam o ma mo a decided case and Estina Boatin versus Serwaa and two others I call civil appeal it's 2021 ya enche into hwehwe a wo be hu into owie ye no oba na say afa de wo sa ba asem na o say I now return to the first issue a wo busa say ya mame Akosua Serwaa na ware no o ware Daddy Lumba no say o ware no e wo civil registry wo Germany a na ware no e monogamous na tese e ba ko oba ba ko be ma ba ko ware na say ba ba ko be ma ware ba ko ware a aware no mugu no anaso o mangu no ansa na Daddy Lumba into wie na ho na obehya ase no say aha say plaintiff so kai plaintiff no wan kai akona kohwe mame Akosua Serwaa the plaintiff is required was a plaintiff no wo kire o kai say make sufficient make ka brofo no make ka say sa brofo no otwotwo ni nyina no mmara mu brofo nti enjoy mu sufficient say biane no so sufficient we say sufficient mmara mu sufficient properly authentic documents which are not contradictory and legally valid in Ghana as proof of a civil marriage to the late Daddy Lumba. So I say this is very crucial. I say adewe and when here pa into what try I say this is very crucial. Wow. But I was when your judgment be could be 23 e honere. I say this is very crucial. It's and say I worry about pe and I worry I won't mean worry obi nka ho. And no monogamous marriage and I say ordinance marriage. And no worry won't mean worry obi enka ho. Yes I pe wato mara. Into sisters adewe the adikronti o ka say crucial is sense say mame Akosua Serwaa say oni Daddy Lumba ware under ordinance and a civil marriage e wo Germany it was say crucial say ye be hu sankrata semi e wa semi a ye ba be bua mu so we no say the lawful attorney some nyam kai de akere mo the lawful attorney o akere mo the lawful attorney ye mame gina ni obi gina mu di adanse ye mame Akosua Serwaa wono o say wo kasa no and as in some trial de buy the paragraph 5, 6, and 12. No, oka say, na Yamamia Kusia say, wa any Daddy Lumba, omu ware 23rd day of December 2004, ewa German in Mrem. Na, or so de a home crata, e buy, no, really, no, oka say, Yamami so Kusia say, waka when the statement of claim, paragraph 2, and also Kasa. So, see, the first point I know no person ascertaining the determination of the applicable foreign law. It was same way in Emuno. Evidence a plaintiff need by say, now what you know, Omuji, ewa Germany, and I say, Omo, a contractee under the German law. In Tiahono State Section 1 of the Evidence Act, okay, Evidence Act. You watch the Mugan Evidence Act 323. State who provides as follows said the determination, the determination of the law of an organization of states to the extent that such law is not part of the law of Ghana. And that is a Emra ini Ghana Mremuno, Emra ini Ghana Mremuno, or of the law of a foreign country. Or man for Frosumbrano. Or man for Frosumbrano. A question of fact. Not to say, somewhat a question of facts. It's a question of facts. But it shall be determined by courts. Somewhat a war name courts nebebua. Say it's a son, I say it's a into we no to say the determination 3 no say a 1 2 near kind into 1 3 of Acts 323 no a one that's which name. So see the determination whether a party has met the burden of providing evidence on a particular issue is a question of law to be determined by the court. Into so what to me I show where one crata sem amane dimuno a mrasem Enye me say yes, mrasem. Inti no so na a question of law a court no na bit me determine and aso bit me abua.
Part 8.
Yeah, it was so. Okay, say you can evidence act no. Inti it was free ho. Inti ori no say e wo court e wo kuro bia so ana say wo man bia so no. Ya assume say court bia nim ne man so mra. Ya me ka say inti court bia onim ne mra so mra. Inti ne man ne Ghana onim Ghana man mra. Inti no obetimi apply ne local law and as a mra. Now the foreign law need operate as a question of fact and not as a law. So what I say, inti wo mra na ode ba no a fact mame enya mra mame. Inti no ode ba me dey say dey mebu asem mebu na me Ghana mrem. So what I say, I want to show my case. Inti we no say this is to state that a foreign law must be proven by the party, usually through an expert witness. No. And when you pa, I was here, yes, and in some now can be brain. Sans some more can hey, a yes in here. Or say, so would the mra a free or man for frosso? Ba, and was so what would this amra no ban? Which church the court in him? Now, quite ben a first church the court in him. You be expert witness. Expert witness ni ubia. O nim asemna ye cano. O nimu. And answer what's here, no woman in a ye, or will be a woman a certificate or moon crata, just as me and make a once me. If I say make a pencil, you must more than who pencil, ye, now me who's a pencil, ye, say, so what I say. Into expert witness will be a winima, the expert, you can expert as what I say. Into expert and a witness, and a carbon wire and a expert witness. Into no, expert witness, no, what's one, no, a becassa, a facade, no home. It must be proven through an expert witness, and a judge is not expected to automatically take judicial notice. You can judicial notice, and that is a be a judge in Wonim. You can say be a judge in Wonim. Say, John Mahama, ye man penny, a Wagana, a judicial notice, yenina, yenimunti judge needs to be to a judge to Muslim. Then, moment me can't judge say a foreign law, a judicial notice in Tina was saying also wedding. Miss Santino, what's with the expert witness, Ebba, Nasa witness no, or Becca Safa, seven home. Now, Crata, now would they ban. Judge need to meet us here. I was some brand no to me a year day, a buasem no, a one equine so. Into we no sin a sense, and I was saying, Mamma Akosua say one. What should I say? One only Daddy Lumba, or more no cremu, a one bremu or Germany. Emma, Intina was for far expert witness, so a children is adian. Into expert witness, on my example, said it could have been a qualified legal practitioner, and I say academician will be a child about German or warrior. Ewo so ebia tis o ebetimi ayo bia an expert witness can be anybody or kasa wa say obi ye no ka say or stated the case of Goldcar Group versus PS International and also a Ghana case 1999 to 2000. Also the general principle has been that no person is a competent witness unless he is a practicing lawyer in the particular legal system in question or unless he occupies a position or follows a calling in which he must necessarily acquire a practical working knowledge of the foreign law. And then I'm the church and say, what's any panel or senior or become once and say, and I say, yeah, dear, what dear Juma. And into now, I am running to or more as a lawyer, and he said, lawyer need ye, a dear, dear Juma, dear Emra. It is a lawyer needed the German Braya Juma, will bet me a church German Brim. It will be sano, okay. It is also required that a foreign law must be proved afresh. And no, young fan say, I say, be obey. Say, yet me church German in Meremu ya. And no interest say, oh, soon as someone as I church the Munana Vigilance will debut. Over say, proving beam. His son say, it's Mrs. Ghana, Emeretrum, woman is Emeretrum. Into the same Emeretrum on my young. I just won't have a book court's number through your expert witness. Say, Merano, a trim. The Honor was stated the case of Amasewa versus Gariba Hashmew. What guys are saying we? No, Munkai. Same way until 2021. A China Hopa. No, a Honor Justice Kulendi, or can't say. A Honor Justice Kulendi referred to Section 136 of the Evidence Act. Evidence Act, there was a CC by the Mohu 323 no on authentication. Honor say where the relevancy of evidence depends upon its authenticity or identity, so that authentication or identification is required as a condition precedent to admission. It is Okrata now with Eban. A yenot said any authentica or say authentication and as identity no a prerequisite and as precondition. Say a bay authentic and yes I yen to one. And when you say wo a requirement say will be satisfy evidence no by showing say it is supported what I say and I say a dim. It is something, it's a matter of question. I was say we are normal court and transfer court in the year no amount. A one son and or more chair ever have. Into we justice could lend in the car in the case of good car. Into my lady I refer to no we no sabai no say. I say no the purported extracts are mudi free marriage registry in mobile. A foreign document are a bare foreign signature. Now, the Evidence Act, this is specifically I provide say a condition precedent for the admission. And I came out to see and said Justice Kulendi can. It was Section 136 of Evidence Act anymore. Or see it's a condition precedent. Not to say a idea I was a way you are nya. Not to say what to watch in a so as I say, for admission into 1 year, 1 year. Into was a prove this idea way. Section 136, Section 161. So sessions here can in our cambo and no children is a saint cry was say who prove this acratana would be free on my fofroso banner. Now Sahaso no can say exhibit B no na was say a year authenticated and a certificate of marriage in a free register of the civil office hobai and also so na was say and also so a bear some authentication after that no say the law mandates that a person takes the certificate. I was any panel certificate no I quite German embassy. Ghana embassy were German. Emma almost another certification from the head of consulate for honor before a court no ebetimi ayede ebua asem no. Na all kasa na so no o say Odo Broni lawyer. Some munna munim D2 say the munim D2. D2 ye Odo Broni lawyer so. Omo peda krata no so no. Wo ma asem so. O say there be menti ase. Menti ase yesan say. Sa asemi abapen. Na krata yi emre bi a wo mo koma injunction so mo kai injunction no mo file in October no mo kai injunction no mo ma so October no 28 October 2025 no sakrata akro ya o jaje na kawa ha o se sakrata akro ya ene ye dia ba abra ye tie substantive case no injunction ni mo e baaye injunction ni mo krata ya mo de baaye e ba so say asem na amoka no ana krata na amode aba no endimu enti se mo pese mo de ba hade a wonim de wo beye me what I say o se me kire ne say safa kone koye ne ai wo se wo de ye ansa na wasa de aba enti ye me nwanwa o kan wo se nya na me ka wo he wo betimi aka ya ka me mpegya nkire wo betimi aka ya na me mpegya nkire ye ade no o se wo de ma me kan nkire what it is therefore a surprise that the plaintiff did not comply with the requirements nearly a month later. I'm not making. Since ye ne wanwa say edi busu mi atwam na plaintiff no wanya nwere wasade krata na yeden abre ne sa ne senti no o se wasade abre ne sei ye de ento aso e enti no omo pagya asa krata ne so omo de ba be ye evidence e ho no na Odo Broni e lawyer no D2 e lawyer so mo ne medical check mo D2 o pagya asem ne se da bi me nti ase e makrata we enye de ye ntu me san se krata we ye Authentication ye signature na e wo so no enye ye man mu ha official e signature na e wo so obia so so ntwero krata mfiri ba bi mma mbeka se we eti sei expert witness bia so so mbeka san fa sa krata yi hu ne senti me da so gina ne mi gina se krata we entimi anyi ntum wa ha ye ntimi anyi ntum e wa ha enti no me mpere ma court anyi ntum ne hono na court no kokko so se krata ya ba pen ama hu asem aye den aba ma no kra enti ono kra ne wanwan se krata ya sa aba ne ha ya anya ho hwe ya sa de aba enti ne hono no ka se ti any objection a omapagya e wo sa krata yi hu it shall be or say any or krata it shall be admitted into what the objection need to or the Odo Broni lawyer no objection need to say krata no and the exhibit B and B1 no ye purported marriage certificate no mo translate enti omo translate ye eba brofo kasem se de be judge ni betimi aka enti na nkofo kasem na judge ne tiase na judge ne tiase o translate and authenticate ye translation and authentication they are two different things in translation say they make a tree ni brofo me dane no may translate na say we be authenticated there is to give validity no validity is to give validity to krata so what I say nti osano na judge no person worker into what yeah no say into me I into or say then also purported the original that was brought before by the court for the court to compare the plaintiff to, said the omode buy and say court na nya de nsusu ho into no nature say nsam keka ni nyina ne say han wo fa ne say certificate na ba na foreign document I be foreign signature am say honom na maka into ne say into no ka waso ono de court ne kan wa ha wo say into nke waso wo mo frɛ obi so mo frɛ obi ma ne bɛka safa ho to hu sɛ wo ka asasem na sɛ nko so mo frɛ obi e ma ne bɛka nko so mo bɛfrɛ e honom no ye bɛka asem bi wo ho about discretion nko fa can be about discretion the next way no ye bɛka asem bi about discretion we'll talk about it until even though the court is not bound until impo the expert witness by no just all the expert witness by ya asem bi expert witness no e bɛka bia na court na gye atum there bi nya sa na tie na emu no expert witness no will be as persuasive as possible however the court na and expert witness asem na ntum a e was a court na try the kronti a wanje expert witness na anya dey asem wan to ha so ye hu expert witness bia anya dey amba nti no woji tu nti owie no osa beka say these required provisions were not adhered to by the plaintiff. Sani amawi. It was section 161. Section 136 no. Ni aya keken nyina. E ma me Akosua Serwaa. Omo endi so. E wo mremu mesrew. Mrem. Omo endi so. Inti no say they were not adhered to. Now was also so kati mu say the page 18 of the written address by Mama Akosua Serwaa lawyer no. The council did not only admit what you to say or my authenticated documents now. Lawyer Nankasa did to say or my authenticated documents after injunction in October. Lawyer Nasa did to has say or my authenticated document. Name more than church muka who say, nay, muedding, nay, day man or so mobile. It's say, na a mrene near Makaka. So it was practically, or say that a practical hardship. That is, was stress and your bay and a name more demand say or mobe meet the demands no. Of section 161 no and was in name no or more trust was in name was and yet in answer to interrogatories near questions be a woody kai answer and sana to say you started trial and say baby jada came near bu asem ni busawa no we yi asem na no na ha ti sa interrogatories na sa questions na court no omo yi ano no Odo Broni and sorry Akosua Serwaa mu yi ano answer no mo de ba no say the first question was answered to show say the documents now your authentic marriage certificate. See the first answer no was it was answered to show say it was an authentic marriage certificate. The Counselor of Ghana Mission with Germany. Tachi meanwhile na ntesa. Wa ha o na make on na make. So na make or say which was not the case. No, so say this interrogatory nte ho no koka clerk na asem no ka ba mu say dem mote wa happy so. Nte ho no dey interest. It was sim ho nyina ho nsem na me pese but sans some no Hannah Clark na sem no page 27 year dream Hannah Clark na sem no nyina ayede ewo nti no say what the United DC here. So say it must state that there is a distinction between the legal burden of proof and evidential burden of proof. Me catch am say marane dey and yes any open no na say dey marane tell say and to see legal burden of proof ni evidential burden of proof. No say when it comes to the legal burden of proof, anyone who makes an assertion bore the burden into no say about legal burden of proof. I say when I will say okay some maka so when I will say when I was say wo kire ni o mo say you 2 million na kire si na mabube no it's no sana ha no ye pese ye kire sana ha ye kire but as soon as about when it comes to the evidential burden of proof it's also a tactical because evidence no ubetimi akura pa so ye nyintu the san say won ye ma say we ye ma wo evidence ye edim na wo karata edim into say here party is to produce evidence that is to support an assertion say was a woman evidence e be boa wasem ana say be bre nipa na won na etwe manso na be bre ono na asem ayede ase e hono no state the controversial case of Akosua Baumia and Obeche Bilamte versus Mohammed Electoral Commission kai special edition case state no wa ha ti ori e no say let me state that the plaintiff should have attempted to certify I think I was say omu tu anamon say omu certify kratana tu anamon say wo certify kratana tu anamon say wo certify kratana na mpo fa letter na wo dia akoma embassy no Ghana embassy wo Germany no fa say no ka ho say ye tu sa anamon no enu mpo ka be kire bibi yanso ni nyina no anye dey amanisa
my case yenche court in my judgment because baby as see auntie mam say what the marriage certificate aba e che sampa na ordinance ya ware ho no na onum say God that do commit criminal offense because we share section 262 your criminal act in law na hwe bibia a obeye bia ye crime no e fairness act 29 section 262 say a person who commit bigamy commits a misdemeanor but section 263 say you can bigamy ye obi a wunnim pa say waware ordinance inti eni say waware bi ka ho na wakoware bi aka ho so say a person commits bigamy who knowing unnim that a marriage substance waware dada na wasan kofa another person in na fa waware mu whether ye fia waware na say eno so ayefo ana a ordinance aware whether in Ghana or elsewhere o say waware wo Ghana na wakoware fufo e wo Ghana o abrochiro heavy o so what commit crime a misdemeanor. In fact, section 261 or bana o kofano or no so commit offense. 264 nipa ni nim. Say oh I read that because